Welcome back to the channel. We're back with the bud in the shop, and it's time to start doing some things to it. So the wheel seals were kind of an issue. Leg arms and I replaced the one on the back, and it got all oily again. So we're like, uh-oh, something went wrong with our wheel seal chain, wheel bearings. Front's starting to leak. The front is going to be a little more difficult because it's got drum brakes on it. So this one was all wet. He cleaned it up, but there's definitely something weird about this one. But after looking a little closer at this back one, I think where the oil is coming from, which this would be amazing if it is, was actually the fill plug. I don't know if, I think I was the one that put the oil in these when we did this bud a couple years ago. I must not have gotten enough dope or Teflon tape or whatever on the threads on that, and that's where that oil has been seeping down, going behind the rim and run out the rim in the back. Because we looked under at the wheel seal or the planetary housing attaches to the end of the axle, and it's not that wet there. But there is wet oil around the wheel inside the rim. So clearly fresh oil's coming from somewhere. There's only two places it can come from, either that seal or this, and that is clearly really wet. So I think I've got it enough of an angle. I might need to drive the tractor back a little bit to get this above, but I'm gonna take that out, clean it up, put it back in. There's a good chance we didn't even take that dual off. This actually might just be just fine. So let's hope that's the case. That'd be awesome. There we go. Oh yeah, good. I think the oil level's right there. Oh yeah, it's just barely in the right. Oil level's literally right at the line there. This perfect. Okay, let's put some dope on this thing, put it back in. Perfect. All right, got parts. So, one thing we've been struggling with this tractor for a number of years is the air throttle system. This tractor utilizes the components that a lot of tugboats, some really heavy mining machinery uses. When they built these tractors back in the day, Ron Harmon, when he was figuring out what components to put in his next generation tractor, was the Series 3, which is the 747 Big Bud, because that's the platform that eventually they built these off of, even though these are smaller than that thing. The twin disc transmission, the KTA, KT 1150 Cummins engine combo. Well, the tilting of the cab, a bunch of other stuff, you know, you can have a long linkage for your throttle cable. It's got to go all the way down and around. Other buds have them, and it works really good. But it's kind of a pain. It's in the way. And a simple solution, because these tractors have air, was use air throttle. So you've got a hand control right above the steering wheel in the cab, up in there, and you just tilt it up, and it has an actuator here that increases and decreases pressure through this valve to here to throw an arm on your injection pump. Problem is, the hair handle that we have in the cab is just hissing all the time. We've changed seals in it so many times. It binds, it slowly leaks down, so like you'll set an RPM, you're seating at 5.12 miles an hour, and also you look down, you're at 4.7. Then you barely touch it, I mean just tap the throttle, all of a sudden you're 5.7 miles an hour. So it's just not that accurate. And instead of, the two options basically to fix that are we tear the air system out and put a throttle linkage cable in like the other one, and then you have to try to fabricate under the dash like Leg Arms did on the 700 Bud, all sorts of linkage and everything to throw that cable back and forth, or we just put new air control components in, which I think we should try this first. It's like 500 bucks worth of parts. You know, it's about the cost of a cable. But at least this is just bolt in place. We got brand new stuff here from Williams Controls. These haven't changed. It's absolutely identical. 1970s technology, 2026, and it's the exact same thing. It hasn't changed. Let's bolt it up. Smart idea. Good thing these cameras are tough. And I conveniently got the furnace blowing on me the whole time. This is nice. That is very loose. I wonder, Scott, I might have found out why I think our throttle's been slowly leaking down. Just take these off. That'd be easier. I can mess with it on the bench. That's a little different. Look at that. We had to drill that one out, actually. All right, let's drill this one out. Tighten it up more later. All right, now I noticed, let's see the spring we've got under that screw right there, which would be that one. Interesting how we've done the spring. You can see these two are different. I need this one, of course, but they don't have a jam nut like that one does to get this off. It just spins. So I got to figure out how to try to hold the internal shaft solid. I don't really want to take this all apart, but I might have to hold that shaft so it can thread off this fitting. Let's keep messing with it. Looks like I can just pull this back like that. There we go. See if I can get a pipe wrench on that shaft. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think we're good. Got the air fitting on. Put it back on there. Okay, I'm gonna leave the fork disconnected on the injection pump because Leg Arms is gonna change out this injection pump. This is the old one off the KT450. It is set at 450 horsepower and it's well used. We have a rebuilt 600 horse injection pump for the KTTA that when it started leaking we had to send off, so that's got to go on here. So I'll just leave these parts here for when he's ready. Let's go into the cab and start that one. All right, welcome to the cockpit. Don't mind him. He's cleaning the lathe up, the old lathe, for a future owner. Haven't been fully picked yet, but we got someone interested in it, so good chance it's gonna be sold. Nice lathe, just not big enough for what we're doing. That's how we got upgrades. All right, back to this. Anyways, I gotta take the air lines off the back side of this. This is the old air valve, as you can see. It's binding really bad, right? Well, actually, I got off it there, but see, it just got problems. It needs replaced. Actually, that ring's coming off right there. Anyways, thankfully, got a brand new one. Hopefully it's just plug and play. It looked identical, the numbers matched up, so let's get to take some lines off from underneath. You guys ready to see what it looks like underneath the dash of this thing? I'll tell you one thing, it doesn't look as pretty as Leg Arm's job on the 700. But this, well, that's not bad actually. Put this light back here so you can see a little better. There we go. There's been a few wires changing it out over the years. A few harnesses. Oh yeah. So what I'm going for is in the perfect spot, right at the very top, straight up, right back up there. You can see the airline right there. That's got to come off. So let's get to work. You guys are gonna be able to see this because there's nowhere to put the camera. So trust me, I'm doing it. I decided it might be easier to just, well, we'll see. Take the bolts out, see if I can pull this out from the dash, then I'll hook the lines from underneath it. Yeah, it's not much room in there without taking the steering column out. There's not a lot of room. Oops, something just fell down. Okay, I see what that is. That's the bottom bracket that holds that. Let's see if this works at all. Boy, I don't know. I get that out with the air lines on there. I might need to take this panel off. Maybe that's what I need to do. All right, now with this apart, should give me the room. All right, there, I think I got just enough room to get those airlines off. The airlines are starting to get tight, so I can't get it out much more. So this will work out great. I can access them a lot better from here. Funny, top airline, hand tight. I think that's where our hissing was coming from under the dash. Still, I don't mind upgrading to a new one. That's okay. Get a new one in there. There we go. I guess take it to the bench. Swap stuff around. I noticed the throttle is on the opposite side on this new one. A little different. I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's going to offset the throttle to the other side. Also, the bolt patterns of this plate obviously are clearly different than this one. See how much smaller that plate is than this one? I'm going to have to see if I can take these things apart, get this separated so that way I get this plate out, put the plate on that side. Fun. pulled her apart, and I think it's gonna go together just fine. That's the old plate.
Okay, so that's how you had it.
Long end needs to face this way, like that. The air lines went out the top, a long way, so it's like this. Like that, and then like this, because the handle faces the same direction as the air lines. There we go. So now we put the new plunger. So
I didn't know if there's any slots.
it just pops in like that. I don't think there's any, doesn't matter which way it turns. Okay, that goes up like that. Is she dirty in there? Yeah. There we go. There's the old one with the new plate. Now take off these fittings, put them on there, and assemble us in the dash, put the handle on, we're good to go. New air throttle is installed. Tried my best not to ding up everything around here, but man, it's tough. It's got stops on it. These, I believe that's what these are for her, these nuts. You can raise and lower them, which can change your range of throttle. Right now I've got it all the way, so nice and firm. I love it. It's just nice. So he's gonna hook the air up to the tractor. And we're gonna see if we get hissing under here. I'm afraid there might be, but we'll see. Hopefully there's no air hissing. And when I do this, oh, I hear the air going in the system. I hear air hissing. Yeah, there's, you hear that? Huh? It feels really nice. There's a slight hiss under here. I bet it's that fitting that I had to tear this entire thing apart to fix it. I'm sure that's what's hissing under here. It's not much, but it's enough to be annoying. Oh yeah, I hear it up there. I'm sure it's that one. Oh, what a bugger. All right, well, I'll make a decision or not whether I'm gonna go in and do that. You weren't supposed to leak. So close.
Now that the bud's in here, I'm gonna jack the tractor up, get ready to take this tire off so we can start figuring out where is it leaking? Is it actually a wheel bearing? Is it a wheel seal? We just got it inspected. So the best way to do it is just pull it off. It's kind of a hassle, but not too shabby. We got the skid steer over there, which makes it quite a bit easier. So jack it up, put a stand underneath the axle, make sure it's secure, and then we'll remove the tire and away we go. So yeah, let's get busy. And you guys can sit. Oh, I'm always trying to find a place for you guys to sit. How about right here? You can watch a time lapse, because it's gonna take a little bit.
We're good now. She works. There was a fitting I didn't have very tight. It was in a tight spot, and it was hard to get tight, so we're tight now. Got her fixed, got her all together. It'll be really fun to see how this works. I'm not gonna peel this label off until, what does that say? Handle may return to release position unless manually held open if friction adjustments is not adequate. We're gonna leave that on there just in case we ever need to read it again in the future. A little bit of sticky glue on there. Oh, that's the kind of tags I like to come off, just like that. Perfect. All right, looks like we split the tractor in half, doesn't it? Without the duals off of the back, we actually can't see tires back there. Anyways, we're taking this apart. So this is the front planetary cover. It looks big because these are actually your brake drums. And to get those changed, you gotta take this apart, which is a pain in the butt, but it's how it works. So he's taking off the front cover. This oil was changed 3 or 4 years ago when we did this bud. 4, I think, at least.
Did you do it when the back bearings? Because that was 2 years ago. When we did the back bearing, did you change them all or just?
No, I didn't do all of them. Because I did all the oils in this when we got the bud in. So this oil should look really good. It's already starting to come out right now. But we're gonna obviously have to put fresh in. So the seal, which could be bad bearing too, we'll find out, is inside here. You can't see it, but that's what we're trying to get to. See the oil leaking out right there?
There you go. I mean, that looks...
Well, it's practically new oil. It probably has 300 hours on it, 400 hours on it, maybe, at most. Yeah, it's gonna be nice oil.
I don't see glitter.
With the bearing going out, hear air hissing up here somewhere. Where's that hissing out of? Have to find out where that's at. Oh yeah, old oil. Oiled as in new and gonna be dumped into the reclaimed oil bin. There she goes.
Notice how I didn't fall in there?
Oh, someone's smart. How'd you get to be so smart?
Well, I eat my Wheaties every morning.
It's Life cereal, he lies.
I like to think it's Wheaties.
Yeah, just don't break those covers. There's your sun gear.
Oh, we'll have to wash
We'll clean it all up. Those divots, does that just mean someone made marks that they
So
were...
that's how they keep the keeper in.
Oh, they bend the... Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, no glitter. She looks nice. Good oil. Good, clean oil. It's hard to say why the seal's going bad. All right, so he's about to pull the axle shaft off. These are kind of a rarer Clark axle in that the better ones,
Oh, that looks
this sun gear is replaceable. It's got a snap ring and it attaches on splines to the axle shaft. This one,
so good.
that gear is machined onto the axle shaft. So to fix that, you got to replace the whole axle shaft. And nobody really makes those anymore unless you have it custom made. That is
This baby's heavy.
it's a big chunk of iron.
And slippery. Oh my gosh. That baby is slippery. There we go. Let the oil just drain down from it.
It's a chunk of iron.
Yeah, it is.
There's the splines that go into your differential.
That looks really good. There's no pitting. That might have been one of the new shafts too.
I bet it is.
So when we first bought this bud, we took it down to Big Equipment, and they went through all the planetaries and axles, and we have the two shafts outside, but there's teeth on these that were broke off on the new one, or the ones out there. So they put two new ones in this, and this actually might be one of the new ones. They said all your planetary gears were good. They seemed fine, but for whatever reason, yeah. Anyway, so this could be a good one. Okay, we acquired this new lathe. This 1765, so 17 inches is the diameter of what you can put right here, and 65 inches is the length. So what I need for this lathe is I need to have a 4-jaw. This is a 3-jaw. It's a self-adjusting 3-jaw. I need a 4-jaw that you can personally adjust on each one to make sure that if something's out of balance, you can adjust it to get in balance. I also need a live center that'll fit this, and then also like I don't know what you call it, this thing over here. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's kind of like a live center. This right here, that piece mounts onto the lathe. So if you're doing very long pieces of material that you cannot put this on, you can set it up here and it'll carry that weight of the long tube or whatever you're working on. I need to acquire those two things for that lathe. But saying that, you're probably wondering, what are we doing with the old lathe? Well, that old lathe we bought brand new. I've had it for many, many years. Gosh, I don't remember how long we've had it. 15 years? Probably more than that, actually. So it's a 1440, and we listed it for sale. It sold within like an hour and a half. Crazy how fast that sold. And honestly, the price I thought was a little more, but they keep their value. So the buyer's on his way. He's coming to pick this thing up, and I hope that he's going to have a fun experience with this lathe, because I've had a tremendously amazing experience with this lathe. This thing has built so much stuff in our shop. I mean, it's done so many cool things, like my bowling ball cannon. I built the breech loader and a firing pin and all that stuff with this lathe here. And then on the 700 Bud, you saw all that cool stuff that we did with it. You've seen throughout the years that they've been watching. We've just built really neat things with that. I'm sad to see it go. I'll be honest, part of me wants to keep onto it because sentimental value, you know. I know this thing. I know the tricks. I know the little quirks on it. I just know a lot of neat stuff about it. And the learning curve to go to the next one is going to be a little bit to know how the next one likes to be ran. But overall, that one there is just not big enough for what we do, because obviously we do big big toys. We have big toys. We got a lot of stuff that's bigger things, and my limitation really is the size of the lathe. So I am excited for the new one, ecstatic about it. And I'm excited that whoever is going to be having this, which the guy that's going to show up, I know you're going to have a good time with it, because I did. And yeah, as you can tell, I already kind of miss it. But that's okay. Little change ain't bad, because got to move on. So there's that. That's the gist with that. And we'll talk more about the new lathe. We haven't tried it yet, because we need a phase converter. And we'll get into that, talk about that when we get there. So shop is looking much cleaner, still very unorganized with all the miscellaneous random stuff that's in here. We're still trying to figure out places to put stuff. But like, for example, I'm still in the process of moving hydraulic things over. And as you can see, the bench is turning out pretty neat, pretty nice. So my chop saw is mounted, my crimper's mounted, that back here, cool. I still have to go through all of the hydraulic fittings. And then we got some hose here as well. There's still hydraulic stuff in there. This whole entire tote is good hydraulic hose, and I don't want to like just get rid of it. I'll have to probably throw some of it out, but all this in here is a bunch of short hoses that were crimped, taken off things. They still work. We just had to reroute something. So I don't know what to do with that yet. We got to figure out a good location for that to sit, because there's times that you want to go through it. And obviously I don't want a big, huge container like this. So I don't know, still figuring it out, but we'll get there when we get there. But that's the gist. Okay, figured to let you guys know. I know I just talked a lot, but there you go. All right, well, let's move on to the next thing. It's off to a good home. He's gonna be happy with it. He's jacked, he's excited. He's gonna play with it, and he's gonna treat it well. He's a cool guy. That's all I have to say.